Hi, my name is Andre. Welcome to my channel, SheHeal. And today we're going to be doing a video about healing from childhood traumas. So this is a video I have been wanting to do for a long time because I've been going through my healing process for years now. And on that journey, on this journey, I just noticed how many other people are trying to heal and they just don't know how, and it turns into something negative like substance abuse or self-medicating. So I just want to come on here and I guess share a little bit of my story and give tips to you guys on how to start your own journey. So a little backstory about me. I come from a single parent household. I am the oldest of 6 other kids, so I had to play parental role a lot. My mom is an alcoholic. It's not funny, but I don't know, I kind of have to laugh about it when I say it. It just sounds weird, I don't know, but she's an alcoholic. And I mean, I'm pretty sure people who are familiar with people who are alcoholics or abuse any type of drug, substance, alcohol, whatever, you know how that goes. So in life, I kind of had to grow up before it was really time for me to grow up, you know what I mean? And because of that, I developed a lot of coping mechanisms, survival techniques, that's what it's called. I had to develop a lot of survival techniques, and honestly I wasn't aware of all of my survival techniques or how a lot of the stuff that happened in my childhood years affected me until I became an adult. It wasn't until I got out of that situation that I was able to feel really when a person is in an environment that makes them sick, they don't really know that they're sick. So it's not until you leave that environment that you become aware of a lot of the things, that a lot of the illnesses that you are carrying. And it's okay, so when that happened to me, I became overwhelmed, which led to me being super stressed out, which led to me being depressed. I spent a lot of time depressed. It took me a while to get out of that depression because, let's be honest, okay, I was maybe 18, 19. I did not know what depression was. Nobody around me had ever talked about it. Literally, I did not know what it was. I just thought, I feel really sad right now. I need to go pray. I don't know, maybe I'll wake up tomorrow and feel better. But tomorrow came, I still didn't feel better. The next day came, I felt worse. And over time, it progressively got bad. And around that time, thankfully, was when a lot of people on social media had started talking about mental illness. And I think I kind of ran across a lot of stuff online, which led me to diagnose myself. Okay, you are depressed, you need to get some help. Honestly, I didn't know what was causing the depression until I kind of got over it. So it was bad for me. I didn't want to leave my house. Mind you, around this time I was alone a lot of the time, so I had a lot of time to sit by myself and think. And thinking wasn't the best thing for me at that time. I was having panic attacks, and I can laugh about it now because I have healed from it. I have overcome, but yeah, it was a hard time in my life, one of the hardest times in my life, honestly. So how I overcame, how I healed, basically the first thing I did was I started journaling. I used to write down how I felt, and I would burn the paper afterwards because I didn't want nobody else to read it. That was kind of why I burned it. And it just felt like, okay, I'm burning this. It's no longer, you know, here, like it's dead. I can let this go. That's how it felt for me. So that was like the first thing that I did. Like, I just wanted to get all of the stuff that was in my head out because it was driving me crazy, literally. So that helped, and I started like working out. I didn't go to a gym or anything because I had developed severe phobia. I was paranoid. I didn't want to be around people, like, you know. So I would just like walk around my apartment complex. I felt very comfortable at this certain apartment complex, so that was good for me. And eventually it got better to the point where I was able to leave the house, but this had to do with my phobias. So a part of my depression, I felt like I was about to die or something. Like, I thought something was wrong with me. So around this time, I would go to my doctor literally like every week. And thank God for good doctors, because it really helped me a lot. He realized that, okay, you know, she comes here a lot. Like, nothing is wrong with her. It has to be something else. So we had a talk, and he found me a therapist. So before he recommended therapy, honestly, I probably never would have went because I'm Black, obviously. And this is not to shade the Black community, but a lot of like people in the Black community, or maybe in other communities too, I don't know, they are against therapy. Like, you know, just like, oh, I don't want to go talk to this person and tell them all my business. Okay, let's just get this out there. Therapy is 100% confidential. So whatever you tell them, I mean, I think, like, I don't know, maybe if it's something illegal, I don't know. I don't know if they can tell if it's something illegal. Maybe they can't, I don't know. But anyway, if you just tell them, like, you know, stuff that's bothering you, they can't go and tell anybody else unless you give them consent, I think. So go to therapy. But yes, I started going to therapy. My therapist was amazing. Unfortunately, he passed away, so rest in peace. But he was amazing. I would go and we would just talk, and I would bawl my eyes out for an hour or 30 minutes or however long the session was. And I didn't realize how good it was for me to do that. Like, it was like another form of journaling, like, you know, except for I wasn't writing. I was just verbally like saying how I feel, and it would bring up like so many different memories that I didn't even know I had. And it was like a good way to declutter what was happening inside of my mind. So if you are depressed or trying to heal from any trauma, really, or just a regular, you know, okay person, you should still go to therapy. I highly recommend therapy. It's a good tool that everybody should have and use to their advantage. So yes, I started going to therapy, and it was very therapeutic. Like, around that time when I started going, I was able to leave my house more. I was able to socialize with people more, because I had developed like a severe social anxiety. Like, I wouldn't talk to anybody unless it was like my husband and my best friend. Like, honestly, I didn't talk to nobody. So therapy helped like break me out of like that shell, that building or walls or whatever I had like built around myself, from just like me just being freaked out because, I don't know, a coping mechanism, what it was, honestly. So therapy helped with that a lot. I still go to therapy. I actually really love therapy, but I kind of had slowed down in going to it because of, you know, it costs. So I got heavy into working out and like trying to find like holistic things that I could do for myself, because, you know, a lot of people say like stress or depression or anxiety or whatever, that a lot of people think it can be linked to like foods and stuff that you eat, or like lack of exercise. And my therapist had also recommended that I start exercising. So that's what I did. I had became like an extreme gym like junkie person. I would go like twice a day, and I lost weight. Oh yes, I had put on a lot of weight from being depressed. Like you know, a lot of people do this. You eat whenever you are feeling a certain emotion. Like I was a bad emotional eater. So like I remember, like, me and my husband talked about it the other day. Like, we would go to the grocery store and I would buy like so much processed food, so much junk, so much. I was addicted to cereal and milk, and that's all that we would eat. And it led to me gaining weight. Mind you, my whole life I had been very thin, and I go from like 125 to like 185 in over a course of like a year, and it was new, different. It took a while to lose the weight, and I'm still not back to like 125, but that's fine. But yeah, so if you are depressed or stressed out or have anxiety or are going through your healing process, if you use food as a coping mechanism, because we all love food, make healthy choices in moderation. But yes, so another thing that happened, like, I'm trying to remember as much as I can, y'all, because being depressed or like having anxiety, it feels like bad. It comes with memory loss, and it's crazy to me. Like, I try to sit down and well, before I did this video, I tried to sit and think about like certain things that I can bring up that happened, and I don't remember much. I don't remember much, and it's normal for that to happen. So I'm like, okay, you know, it's probably a good thing I don't remember some of it, because I just don't really want to remember like all the bad moments in my life, you know. So yeah, it comes with memory loss. So if you think you probably like have amnesia or something, no, it's just I think that's like kind of how your mind copes with certain stuff. Like, it kind of blocks it or forgets, or you black out or something. Like, yeah, I think that's what happens. But okay, where was I? So therapy, yes, I used to go work out. Okay, so this is the thing. When you are trying to heal from anything, specifically childhood traumas, it's like the healing process kind of never ends, because it's like, okay, once you get over one phase, then you're like, oh, you know, something else kind of comes up, and it's like, dang, I thought I was done with this, you know. It's a journey, to say the least. But yeah, that is kind of how it is. Like, even with me now, I have been like going through my whole spiritual thing and my healing phase for years, like at least 4 or 5 years now, and it gets better. It honestly gets better. Like, I'm at a really good place in my journey right now. You know, I'm starting to see a lot, realize a lot. I am more in control of my mood. Okay, and that's another thing. Look, that's another thing, meditating. Okay, so after like my whole gym junkie phase, I think I was scrolling on social media again. See, social media isn't all bad, but anyway. So I was strolling on social media, honey, and I think I saw a post about meditating, or like, I follow a lot of spiritual pages on Instagram, and they make like, you know, they put up spiritual quotes and stuff like that, or just quotes in general, and a lot of them talked about meditating. So I downloaded this app called Headspace, and this is not sponsored, honey. But I downloaded this app called Headspace, and best decision I ever made. Like, I used to do it, well, I started with the free trial. I think it's like a 10-day free trial. You get it for 10 days. I started doing that, and I did it literally every day for those 10 days. And it was like, I felt a difference in my body. Not immediately, but like along like the end of the trial, I started to feel like minor, you know, differences, good differences. And I was like, okay. And around that time, I lived in Texas, in El Paso with the mountains, and I loved it so much. I would go sit in the mountains and just like meditate. So I ended up purchasing just the full subscription, and I still meditate to this day. I don't use the app anymore because you kind of get the gist of it, but I used it a lot until like the subscription ended. It was like for a year, and the difference that you see in yourself after you do it for a while is a good difference. Like I remember really, like when I first started doing it, I would sit down and I would like feel myself doing it. Like it was so weird for me because I never paid attention to like sitting down and standing up. It was just something I did naturally, you know. And I did it and I was like, dang, like I never noticed. I never really thought about sitting down, you know. I never really thought about standing up, but here I am like thinking about it, and it feels different. That was like the first time I was like, okay. And then my anxiety got so much better from me meditating. Like I'm checking the locks 10 times before I lay down type of girl, you know. Let me make sure the alarm system is set about 15 times. Check my phone. Oh my god, let me turn it on, make sure nothing bad happens if I need to reach me. But that's like my anxiety, but like the overthinking part of it. But with the meditating, I noticed that I didn't do that as much. I felt less paranoid. I just felt like good, you know, and it was just like a much needed relief that I enjoyed so much. So that's why I meditated as much as I did, because I actually noticed the benefits from it. And I recommend meditating to everybody. A lot of people, they're like, well, you know, when I first meditated, I didn't like it because I had too many thoughts going in my head. Like a lot of people think when they meditate that it's just supposed to be complete silence in their mind. And you know, they're just supposed to sit or lay there for 20 minutes and not have one thought. That is not how meditating works, people. Okay, when you meditate, especially for the first time, the goal is to kind of like silence the mind, but not in a way that you don't think. It's in a way that, okay, I have this thought, I'm gonna acknowledge it, I'm gonna let it go, in that type of way, you know. So it's all about just like acknowledging it and letting it go, and that gives you a good idea of like where you are mentally too. Because think about it, we have like how many thoughts pass through our minds in a second, let alone a minute, and you can't really like observe every one of them because you're doing this, you're doing that, you know. You really only pay attention to the ones that stick out or the ones that are like crazy. So when you meditate, it gives you the opportunity to like see more of your thoughts, to see like more so where your mind is at. And it's like, okay, dang, why I have that thought? Like, do I really feel this way? You know, it grounds you. You are able to really see what you need to work on or how you really feel. So meditating is meditating is a great thing to do for people of all, you know, everybody. Just meditate. Download. It's a lot of apps out there now. I use the one called Headspace. I will tag it below if I can. But yeah, it's a lot of meditating apps out there that you can find one that works for you. And over time, you know, you will get the hang of it and be able to do it by yourself. So yes, I meditate so much to this day. I still journal. Exercise is a good way to like relieve stress and stuff, you know. Eating well. I cannot stress this enough. You know, if you already feel down, you know, you don't feel that great, and you eat terribly, you're not gonna feel no better. Okay, not saying you have to go to a complete vegan, vegetarian, pescatarian, whatever lifestyle, no, but some days out of the week, just try to make better eating choices, you know. Eat foods that will add life to your life, you know, stuff that will help you to feel better. Like, so many foods have so many like different things that they can do for you if you just eat them. So definitely change how you eat a little bit, you know, in moderation, everything. That's something I struggle with sometimes, but I try to do a lot of it because I actually do notice a difference, mainly in like energy levels, and I mean how I feel overall too. Like, I'm able to do more. I don't feel as sluggish and weighed down, you know. That's good. I have also got into like spirituality a lot. I'll talk about that in another video. but yes, so let me see, did I forget something? Yeah, but I just want to stress, like, I'm sorry y'all, I kind of have a little stuffed up nose, but I just want to stress how important it is to just keep going. Like, a lot of people on their healing journey, they get discouraged because they don't want to feel like, a part of healing is feeling. You have to dig within yourself, dig up those emotions you keep suppressing, and allow yourself to feel them. You don't allow yourself to like become consumed by it and now it's your emotion, but you need to allow yourself to feel so that you can get over it. A lot of times I see people, they want to be numb to everything. It's like they don't want to feel, so they numb themselves with prescription drugs or with alcohol or with any drug really, because it makes them feel good or whatever. I'm not that type of person, and honestly I don't think it's a good thing to do, you know, especially when you are already battling something. That's an easy way for you to become like even worse, really. Like, that's a, you know, the more you run from everything, the more it like, the more control it has over you. And it's really not that scary of a process to heal. It gives you so much power in knowing that, okay, this situation does not control me anymore. I'm not afraid of this. You know, I can, it brings out a different person with you. It really connects you to your higher self. Like, it really does. And it's a good journey to go on, a good path to walk. A lot of stuff that happens in our childhood years we really cannot control. Like, honestly, we have no control over it. It is sad, it's unfortunate, but what we do have control over is our adult years. We can either choose to heal, or we can choose to repeat, you know, or to just be unhappy. And I don't think anybody wants that. So just a little recap. For me, I recommend journaling, therapy, meditating, exercise, and eating well. And just remember, like, this is a journey. It's called a journey for a reason, you know. And it's not gonna like happen overnight. It's not gonna happen tomorrow. It's not gonna happen next month, next week. But what matters is if you keep going. You keep going, you will see progress. You will see a change in yourself, a change in your life. You know, this whole self-work thing that we have to do as people to become the people that we want to be is work. Like, and it's worth it, honestly. At the end of the day, you know, the only way to like make a difference in anything is if you make a difference within yourself. So yes, I thank you all for watching this video. I hope that I really helped you. I hope that I helped y'all and gave y'all a lot of tips or whatever. I plan to make more like it, so please stay tuned, and thank you so much.